Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devaः Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraः Sthirairangaistuष्टुवांसस्तनूभिः Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuः Swasti na Indro Vriddhashravāः Swasti nः Pusha Vishwavedaः Swasti nः Tarkshyo Arishthaneme Swasti no Brihaspatirdadhatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. In our last satsanga, we came to the fourth and fifth mantras. First of all, the lineage or the tradition was spoken of. And in that lineage of teachers, Angiras was the teacher, the exponent of Veda. And it was then a great businessman and householder, Shaunaka, approached him and asked, "O Bhagavan, kasminnu bhagavo vijñāte sarvamidam vijñātam bhavati." Oh Bhagavan, what is that? Knowing which everything else will be known. This was the question. As an answer, Angira says, Tasmai sahovacha dve vidye vedidavye itihasmayat brahma vido vadante parāchaiva parācha. Tasmai sahovacha, unto him he spoke. Dve vidye vedidavye, two knowledges are to be known, are to be acquired. And what are they? Parāchaiva parācha. Paravidya and the aparavidya. The highest knowledge and knowledge that which is not that much high. These are the two categories of vidya. And this is not what I am saying unto you from my own personal vision. No. This is a teaching which is coming from the tradition of acharyas. Brahmavidaha vadanti sma. Brahmavidaha vadanti sma means so said knowers of Brahman. So the great scholars who knew what is Brahman, they taught this. It is their teaching. See, this is the greatest vision of Bharat. And actually, this vision made Bharat a most harmonious, a holistic vision. And the sickness of the present world, it is this, we are going away from this vision. Those who are studying the Vedic law, of course, a microscopic minority are there who are studying Vedic Shastras, scriptures. Even then, many will say there is no meaning in other knowledge. What benefit you are getting from the study of physical sciences? There is no meaning. So you chant mantras, do your upasanas, and learn Upanishads and other Puranas, and chant japa. That alone will help you. There is no use in other physical sciences. Even though they are a microscopic minority, they would say like this. And on the other hand, 99.9% of the whole population, we are behind those knowledges or those branches of knowledge which are dealing with the physical world, with the seen world, and not at all concerned with the seer. That is the problem of the world. So we are producing people with immense informations within. We are producing from universities great moving encyclopedias, all filled with informations without wisdom. That is what is happening. So our vision is information we must have, technical know-how we must have, but along with that, the wisdom, the knowledge of the seer, that also must be united. So a harmonious blending of both this knowledge is what is required. It is said, reiterated in the Bhagavad Gita also, wherein Bhagavan says, Kshetra kshetraknyayor jnanam yattat jnanam matam mama. Kshetra kshetraknyayoho jnanam yad tad jnanam iti mama matam. Mama matam, my opinion, that is in my opinion, that is or that alone is knowledge. That alone is knowledge. Where kshetra kshetraknyayoho, where there is a blend of kshetraknyana, knowledge of the physical objects, and kshetraknya jnana, knowledge of the seer. So knowledge of the known world and the knowledge of the seer of the world, knower of the world. Both these knowledge must be united together. A harmonious blending of these two aspects of knowledge must be there. Then only we can call it as knowledge. Otherwise, a bundle of informations will be there with us. But when there is no wisdom with that, there is no meaning. So, It is said here, these two branches of knowledge, or two categories, para and apara, both must be known. Both must be known. And what are these apara vidya and what is the para vidya? It is said, tatrāparā ṛgvedo yajurvedaḥ sāmavedo'tharvavedaḥ śikṣā kalpo vyākaraṇaṁ niruktaṁ chando jyotiṣamiti atha parā yayā tadakṣaramadhigamyate. Atha, tatra. Tatra means there or therein. Here we can say in that. So in the earlier mantra, what is the vision of knowledge? What is our vision of knowledge? That is said. In that, tatra apara. I am telling what is apara vidya. So you hear from me what is apara vidya. ṛgvedaḥ, yajurvedaḥ, sāmavedaḥ, atharvavedaḥ, śikṣā, kalpaḥ, vyākaraṇaṁ, niruktaṁ, chandaḥ, jyotiṣamiti. So these are the ingredients of apara vidya. See, we have to discuss this mantra in some detail, because this very mantra, it shows the greatness of our vision. See, the very base of Sanatana Dharma, or the very foundation of Hindu Dharma, is Veda. As aptly said by Manu, Vedo khilo dharma moolam. Veda is the very root or very base of Dharma. That means the whole edifice of Sanatana Dharma is built on the foundation of Veda. Veda is the foundation. On built of the whole edifice of Sanatana Dharma is built. And what is Veda? Veda is knowledge. Veda is knowledge. The first and important meaning of Veda is knowledge, because it comes from the root dhatu vid jnane. That means the dhatu vid means to know. To know. So when we derive the Shabda Veda from that root, it would mean knowledge. And there are so many other meanings, like existence and debate or discussion. So many meanings are there. Like with Sattaya, that means Veda is existence, or Veda is the knowledge about the existence. And with the Vicharane, Veda is the knowledge that we get through discussions with acharyas. So many meanings. So let us take the first and the primary meaning, which is knowledge. So Veda is knowledge. This is the knowledge which was discovered by rishis. Rishis are discoverers, not who wrote the Vedas, not who wrote Veda mantras. They discovered. They are discoverers. They removed the covering of ignorance. They removed the covering of ignorance and realized the real knowledge. Knowledge regarding the world, knowledge regarding the cause of the world, and the controller of the universe. And above all, the knowledge regarding who am I, what is my goal, and what is the path to that goal. So the knowledge of all these constitute Veda. So that is the first meaning of Veda, and that is the very basic or primary. But at the same time, see, those who discovered this Veda, out of their love, out of their care and compassion, they taught to the world the treasure of knowledge they got, they transferred to the world only out of compassion, out of love, out of care. And this process of transferring this knowledge from generation to generation happened. So there will be teachers in one generation, and the students of that generation will be the teachers of the next generation. So parā, in that tradition, the spreading of Veda happened. And how they taught the Veda knowledge? Because knowledge is not a book. Knowledge is not a set of books. But knowledge can be transferred from one generation to the other through words, through teachings. So the second meaning or the second level meaning of Veda is those words or those teachings by which rishis transferred this knowledge to the generations. So the method they adopted, the method they adopted to teach, to transfer this knowledge, they varied. And so different styles like Rik, consisting of mantras with specific meters. Then yajus, mantras without specific meters, and samas in the form of music, songs. So these were the methods adopted by rishis to teach the Veda. Some taught with the help of mantras, which are in meters. Some taught with the help of songs, like that. So ṛgvedo, yajurvedaḥ, sāmavedo'tharvavedaḥ, and atharvavedaḥ, four categories of Veda, or four different types of Veda came into existence, wherein in the ṛgvedo only Riks are there, in the Yajurveda only Yajus are there, and in the Sama only Samas, and the Atharva all types of mantras. So this is the very base, or this is the very foundation of Sanatana Dharma. Now we are studying the Mundakopanishad, which is a part of Atharva Veda. But see the greatness of this knowledge. See the greatness of the rishis. The rishi is saying, even though this is the very foundation of Sanatana Dharma, this is not para vidya, this is apara vidya. This is the most revered set of books. This is the very foundation of Sanatana Dharma. And we believe this knowledge is the very form of Ishvara. Veda is the very, very form of Ishvara. It is manifested from Ishvara and it is Ishvara. Even the Samhita says, ṛgvedo jeknire chandamsi jeknire tasmad yajurvedaḥ ajayata. So says the Purusha Sutta. That means all the mantras, all the Vedas manifested from that Ishvara alone. There is no other of Veda. These Vedas manifested from Ishvara. ṛgvedo jeknire. Riks and the Samas came from, manifested from Ishvara. Like that. Chandamsi. All mantras manifested from Ishvara. So even though this is the highest knowledge, this is the highest text, this is the very base of Sanatana Dharma, Rishi says, even after having all this greatness, the book knowledge is not paravidya. This is apara. This is the greatest vision. This is the greatness of our vision. We are respecting our scriptures. We are accepting them as the very primary source of knowledge. At the same time, we are fully aware of the fact that these books are not the paravidya. The knowledge or the wisdom which we are getting through that shastras is the paravidya. So even though these ṛgveda, yajurveda, sāmavedo'tharvavedaḥ and atharvavedaḥ are the very foundation of Sanatana Dharma, Rishi is saying these are not paravidya. This is aparavidya. Tatrāparā ṛgvedo, yajurvedaḥ, sāmavedo'tharvavedaḥ. śikṣā, kalpo, vyākaraṇaṁ, niruktaṁ, chando, jyotiṣamiti. śikṣā, kalpaha, vyākaraṇaṁ, niruktaṁ, chandaha, jyotiṣamiti. All these are aparavidyas. See, there are many rishis who discovered Veda mantras. Within one Veda itself, there are so many rishis. And let us remember, there are so many rishikas also. Rishikas are women. In the midst of those who discovered Veda mantras, there were so many women. This we must always remember. Not one Gargi alone, not one Vachaknavi or not one Maitreyi alone. No, so many. And take the other shastras, other set of shastra beginning with śikṣā. What are they? See, they are considered as Shat Shastras, the 6 Shastras. Or they are also called Vedangas. Vedanga, limbs of Veda, parts of Veda. Just as we are having many body parts. I have my head, my legs, my hands. Many body parts I have. And with this I am moving. With this I am living. In the same way, Vedas, which basically constitute Rig, Yajur, Sama and Atharva, they are living with these limbs of Veda. If one man has to touch another man, so I am touching you. Actually, I am saying I am touching you, but I am touching your body parts. Only through touching the body parts I can touch you. Question will come there, are you touching me? I am untouchable. This is the highest untouchability. See, you cannot touch me, but you can touch my body parts. In the same way, we can approach Veda, we can touch Veda, we can enter into Veda only through these angas. This is the secret of Vedic studies. So, with a proper knowledge of Vedangas, we have to approach Veda. Then only we can enter into the study of Veda. And what are they? They are called Vedangas or Shad Shastras. And these are the śikṣā. śikṣā is the Shastra of pronunciation. How to pronounce different shabdas. Shabdas are of many types. Mainly two types of shabdas are there. They are called dhvanyatmaka and varnatmaka. So many dhvanis. Dhvani, we cannot differentiate them into varnas. For example, when a stone is falling, when it touches the another surface, there will be a sound. When we clap our hands, there is a sound. In the same way, there are innumerable instances where a sound is produced. That is dhvanyatmaka. We cannot differentiate that sound into varnas. Then varnatmaka. What is that? We are talking through varnatmaka shabdas. We are using different varnas. Varna means where sound, shabda, is manifested in a particular well-defined pattern, it is varna. And when we are, let us come to Samskrita for a little while. There are two types of varnas, swara and vyanjana. Swaras are pronounced by their oath. A, I, U, R, L, E, I, O, Au. This. Without the help of other varnas, we are pronouncing these, and therefore they are called swaras. And there are vyanjanas. Vyanjana will always be pronounced with the help of swaras. Ka, cha, ta, ta, pa. Ya, ra, la, va, sha, sha, sa, ha. These are vyanjanas. So how to pronounce this? Pronunciation must be correct. There are certain rules. So the rules regarding the pronunciation, that Shastra is called śikṣā. So many acharyas were there who wrote many śikṣā granthas. We do not know how many acharyas were there who wrote śikṣā granthas. Narada was one acharya. And there was Pingala's Maharshi. Many acharyas wrote śikṣā granthas. But now the most accepted śikṣā grantha is that written by Panini Maharshi. That is the śikṣā grantha. Now that is accepted and that is remaining even now. We are studying that. So Panini's śikṣā, Panini Maharshi wrote śikṣā grantha. And there are two versions, one in the form of sutra and the other in the form of poems, poetry. Both are available even now. And there are many commentaries on that śikṣā. So the subject matter of śikṣā is how to pronounce shabdas. If our pronunciation is not correct, then we cannot convey the sense for which we are talking. So pronunciation must be correct. And our acharyas gave that much importance to this pronunciation. If we go into that topic, it will be a very big topic. We must have a long discussion on that. So I am not entering into that. But understand this much, our acharyas gave that much importance to Shiksha Shastra. So before the study of any other Shastras, a student will be taught Shiksha in the very first, at the very first, a student will learn Shiksha. Then only he will start other Shastras. Because without knowing the pronunciation, correct pronunciation, we cannot study the other Shastras. And if we are studying, we will commit many mistakes. So studying Shiksha is important. And our acharyas were very particular about it. Nowadays, we are not at all giving that much importance. Instead of Vidyalaya, we may say Vidyalaya. Vidyalaya is a home of knowledge, home of wisdom. It can be a school, it can be a college, it can be a university. But when we are saying Vidyalaya, it is a court of justice. It is a court of law. See? So the Shiksha Shastra. Panini says we have to pronounce varnas in such a way as a mother tiger carries her little child. How a mother tiger is carrying her child? She will carry with the help of mouth. If she is giving more force, more pressure, it will hurt the child. If she is not giving proper pressure, the child will fall down. So in that way, we have to pronounce each and every one. So, however, that shastra regarding the pronunciation is Shiksha. The main acharya is Panini. Then there is kalpa. Kalpa is the science of practice. See, Veda is broadly divided into two parts, Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda. That is the first part. It is connected with karma, rituals. Many rituals. And the last part is teaching what the highest knowledge is, Jnana Kanda. So first we have to perform these rituals. Many Vedic rituals. And there are thousands of mantras in the Samhita part, whereby we are praising different devatas. Devatas like Indra, Varuna, Agni, Vayu, Vishnu, Rudra, many devatas, Ashwini Kumaras, many devatas. And how to use these mantras in different yagas. How to perform different yagas. What are specially to be observed, the rules and regulations. How to make a homa kunda for yagas. How to make a Vedi. And what sorts of mantra are to be chanted. What types of karma are to be performed. All these aspects of Vedic ritual, it is explained in kalpas. And not only Vedic rituals, but also different samskaras which we have to follow. In our life, we have to follow different samskaras. Right from Garbhadhana to Antyeshti. Many samskaras are there. So how to perform these samskaras? This also is a subject matter of kalpa. So kalpa is a very huge scope it has. And there are three distinct divisions of kalpa shastra. One is Shulba Sutras, then the other Kalpa Sutras, then the other Grihya Sutras. These are the three distinct divisions we can find within Kalpa Shastra. And see this Shulba Sutras. I am not an expert in that. You can approach experts in the Shastra for knowing more about that. We will sit wonderstruck, seeing what are the mathematical principles underlined there. Many mathematical theorem and principles which are now known by the names of many scholars of West are written in the Shulba Sutras. How to make different Vedis. There is the arithmetics, there is the geometry, there is calculus. So Shulba Sutra is there. And there is Grihya Sutras. Grihya Sutras mainly discuss the ways and means of performing different samskaras. How to perform different samskaras. That is the subject matter. And injunctions, rules, regulations regarding proper functioning of yagas, how to perform. That is in the Kalpa Sutras. So there are many acharyas like Bodhayana, Ashwalayana, Apastamba, Paraskara, Gobhila, Atreya. So many acharyas. Bodhayana Dharma Sutra, Ashwalayana Dharma Sutra, Apastamba Dharma Sutra, and Gobhilas, Paraskaras. So many. We do not know how many acharyas wrote these kalpas. But all these granthas are available even now. And many commentaries were written on them. All these are purely physical sciences. Mainly mathematics. Then there is vyākaraṇaṁ. It is an ocean. I am not going to explain that. The depth and height just like Himalayas, and the depth just like oceans. We cannot estimate. It's that much a great science. Vyākaraṇa. Basically, it is the Shastra of words. How different words are manifesting. How to make different words. Making use of sounds, that is varnas. How we will make different padas. Pada is word. So with the help of word, pada, we will express our ideas. And how these padas are made? What are the rules? This is the subject matter of vyākaraṇa. We can roughly say it is grammar. It is grammar. There were many acharyas in this branch of knowledge who spread, who protected this Shastra. Indra, Chandra, Kashakrishna, Apishali, Shakatayana, Shakalya, Spodayana. Many acharyas were there. All these acharyas wrote exhaustive Vyakarana Shastras. But now these Shastras are not at all available. Some parts are there, and some sentences are there quoted by acharyas of later periods. Now the Vyakarana, which is existing now, which we are studying now, and which is fully available now, is the Vyakarana of Panini. Vyakarana of Panini. It is called Paniniya. Paniniya. That which is taught by Panini is Paniniya. It is the present day Vyakarana. See, it is a wonder of wonders. If we can enter into that Shastra, we will realize this. Let us remember one instance when Professor Bloomfield was a great grammarian. Basically, he was a German scholar. He was an expert in many, many languages of the world. And he was an authority in 15 or 16 languages. And he was giving a university lecture. I remember it was in the Oxford University. If there is any error in this, those who know can correct me. And after his lecture, see, the audience were professors. Those who were hearing that lecture were all professors of the university or great scholars in different branches of knowledge. Because Bloomfield was such a famous one, such a great authority. So when he come to give lecture, that will be the audience. So after hearing his lecture, one professor stood and asked a doubt. Oh, professor, you are a knower of many things. You are an expert in Greek philosophy, mythology, and Indian Shastras, and primitive cultures, and many, many languages. So let me ask a question, a doubt. What is the greatest wonder in the world? This was the doubt. What is the greatest wonder in the world? Just imagine what we would say if somebody asked this question. What we would say? Huh? Ask ourselves without a second's thought, without a moment's break, without any hesitation. Professor Bloomfield replied, the wonder of wonders, the greatest wonder of this world is Ashtadhyayi of Panini. So those who were sitting there, many didn't know what is Ashtadhyayi and who is this Panini. But Bloomfield had no doubt at all. Ashtadhyayi of Panini is the greatest wonder in the world. This was his reply. So what is this Ashtadhyayi? Ashtadhyayi is the Vyakarana text written by Panini. It is written in 8 chapters. Each chapter again divided into 4 padas. And therefore it is called Ashtadhyayi. How it is a wonder, we will realize that only through a proper study. Otherwise, we will not understand. We have to enter into that, how the sutras are made. We cannot replace one sutra from that place to another place. There are nearly 3,900 and odd sutras. It's a small piece of writing, not that much bigger. But the arrangement, the order, and how scientifically it is written. So that is vyākaraṇaṁ. And after Panini, another sage, another Maharshi, Katyayana, he is also known as Vararuchi. He wrote Vartika on that. And after that, Bhagavan Patanjali, he wrote detailed Mahabhashya. And after that, so many acharyas wrote commentaries on commentaries, and explanations on such commentaries. So this is a very huge treasure, an ocean of knowledge embedded, that is vyākaraṇaṁ. We can have more discussion on vyākaraṇa on some other occasions. So this is another Vedanga, vyākaraṇa. So śikṣā, kalpaha, vyākaraṇaṁ, then niruktaṁ. Niruktaṁ is more like a not a dictionary, but we can say it is more or like a dictionary. You see, almost all terms and words used in the Veda are derived or can be derived with the help of vyākaraṇa. But there are many usages which are outside the purview of vyākaraṇa. Many usages. And many words are there which we cannot derive through vyākaraṇa. So, what to do with such words? What are the meaning we have to understand while we study Veda? This is a question. The answer is, there is a Shastra for that. Just to teach at the inner meaning of words used in the Veda, there is a Shastra, and that Shastra is niruktaṁ. Many acharyas wrote niruktas, but the text which is available now, and the most exhaustive text on nirukta is that written by Yaska Maharshi, Yaska Nirukta. That is available now, and it is being studied also. The niruktam. Then there is chandaha and jyotiṣ. What is chandaha? Chandaha is the shastra of meters. Different mantras are written in different meters. Gayatri, Trishtopa, Anushtopa, Brihadi, Ushnig, many. That means having this much lines consisting of this much syllables, having this much aksharas, and this much lines. For example, when we say the chandas is Gayatri, it would mean there are 3 lines, each having 8 aksharas. So 8 into 3, 24. In total, 24 aksharas are there in Gayatri. Or Anushtup, there are 4 lines consisting of 8 aksharas. So 32 aksharas are there in Anushtup. So like that, different Vedic methods are there, and the Shastra of these Vedic methods is called Chandas. Narada wrote Chanda Shastra, but the widely circulated and fully available Chanda Shastra is that written by Pingala Maharshi. That is the Chanda Shastra which is available now. Pingala Maharshi's Chanda Shastra. And there is the other Shastra, Jyotiṣam. Jyotiṣam. That again is an ocean. Basically, it is the Shastra of determining auspicious time. Because for performing yagas and the samskaras, we have to determine the apt time when to be performed. What are the times to be avoided? So the Shastra of that determination of time, that is Jyotisha. So many aspects of this universe, like grahas, nakshatras, and our Mother Earth. So many aspects of all these are considered, and through mathematical calculations, they are arriving at the proper timings. The Shastra is Jyotisha. Actually, there is no difference between astrology and astronomy in our Jyotisha. It is astrology plus astronomy plus mathematics. Jyotisha. There were many acharyas, Brahma, Vishnu, many acharyas were there. But the greatest acharya, whose Shastra is fully available even now, is Varahamihira and Bhaskara and Aryabhatta. And in later periods, so many acharyas developed this Shastra. A galaxy of acharyas are there who developed this Shastra, Jyotisha. So these are the 6 Vedangas through which we have to approach Ved. So with a proper knowledge of Vedanga, we can enter into a deep and detailed study of Veda. So Vedas and Vedangas put together, that is the highest knowledge or highest set of Shastras we have. We have to respect them, we have to revere them. But at the same time, Rishi is saying these are parts of apara vidya. This is not the highest knowledge. Then what is the highest knowledge? That we can discuss in our next sitting. Today we can conclude, and the question answer session we can postpone to the next sitting, because I am moving through such a busy. So in our next sitting we can now. Yeah.
That Sanatana Dharma
Om
Parichayam book is available.
Bhadram Pakshabhiryajah Sthirairanga Shobham Sastanu Devahitam Yada Indro Vridhashravaha Swasta Vishwaveda Swastenastarkshyo Taneme Swastena Brihaspatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Brahma Tasmai Gurave Namaha.